This is the first
First
LOTC.
LOTC report for 2014. What an interesting week it has been. I'm Fiend, and won't you join me on a magical journey through the world that was Anthos this week?
Making news this week. A battle involving all four main races, some updates on our future as native provides a fresh glimpse at 4.0, and OMG, VAs have been removed! The headlining roleplay story this week is the major battle that saw the dwarves defending their homeland against a united front of humans, elves, and orcs. In a resounding confirmation that the Black Scourge have wrought an alliance with Urgon, the presence of harbingers in the battle provided that the dwarves have taken side with the unbridled destruction. Joined also by the Teutonic Order, the dwarves were pushed back into the underground. The victory was won by a united force including the Kingdom of Oran, the Orcish Federation, Malnor's Lumbridrim, and the West Malnor Trading Company. If this loss will have an outcome on the Dwarven alliance with our northern enemy remains uncertain. It is hoped that the Grand Kingdom of Urgon has not slipped so far from sensibility to have become pawns of Sephiroth. Whether or not they are truly traitors to Anfos, Oran leaders have vowed to continue oppressing the dwarves to the point of extinction. Political relationships between the two nations are more tense now than ever before, with dwarves no longer safe in human lands, facing total annihilation as punishment.
From one victory to another, Lenfarthing was saved from the Harbingers, leading to an Iranian annexation of the land. And the West Malinor Trading Company is making its mark as an economical body to be reckoned with. Continued growth in wealth and physical assets has proven beneficial to their successful commerce.
Patch 3.8-1 updates roleplay essentials with some cool new features that come from 1.7.2, like displaying someone's RP and MC name when hovering the mouse over them in the chat window. Alec is newly inducted coder who installed these new additions for the patch. Typhus's own coding project will also spice up the monster spawning by making mobs in commonly traveled areas much weaker. Movements of players will be traced as a heat signature that relays the captured information of the strength of aggressive mobs that are spawned. Nicknamed Heat Map, monsters spawning around areas that are hot from player traffic will carry less valuable items and be easier to defeat. This will not only make for improved safety around towns and main roads, but also create a benefit for monster hunters who travel out into the forests in search of bigger challenges and rarer item drops.
Shift Native has detailed the progress made on the 4.0 build. Spawn is ready and the main road will be complete over the next few days, as well as work commencing on the various custom biomes. Nation leaders should make preparations for their pre-build, soon being given access to the build server to establish the important structures of their nation's capital. The new world is being purposely designed to accommodate for the return to focus on Minecraft mechanics. If you desire more information, Native is often providing live streams of the building, which he is eager to share with the community. An important order of business involving the legal jargon from the server's terms of service. Lord of the Craft does not take responsibility for anything you may experience while interacting with the server or its forums. This shouldn't come as any surprise and makes a great deal of sense as the community is made up of individuals who rarely reflect the ideals of the community as a whole. However, with that small legal condition in place is revealed the decriminalization of cybering. While still 100% against server rules, the punishment for lawbreakers now includes a grace period to account for immaturity or ignorance. Permanent punishment ushered out to those who were unaware can sometimes be an injustice upon otherwise skilled roleplayers. So this move from admins comes not to approve of cybering, but to offer grace to those who've been punished from one foolish act.
New leaders are being given GM powers on trial basis. Kodo, Xarxes, Gabriel 101x1, Xerix, Count Juno, and Nupek have already been initiated and should be tested vigorously by the community. Get your modrex ready and your whiny voice in a high, nasally pitch.
GMs are all to be monitored more closely with the new modrec quotas being introduced.
Terrafer, Lefty, B720, and Dukester had joined the villain application team and enjoyed their unlimited power over villainy for a few days before the VA system was removed.
That's correct. The decision has come through loud and strong. Villain applications are removed. You no longer need to be approved for villainous deeds to perform them. There are some rules that correspond to this change, and it's best that you read them whether you intend to perform villainy yourself or are just the subject of the evils of others. The decision was made not just due to the public demand, but also out of recognition of a failing system. The theory of villain applications was a strong one, however their existence created a trophy to be sought after. The concept of the best roleplayers having villainy created more problemed roleplay than the preventative measures could deny. So with this trophy removed, along with last year's removal of magic applications, any player can be whoever or whatever they want to be.
Meanwhile, the application team, who are at no risk of being dismantled, are entertaining the idea of hiring more members. Keep looking out for an application thread.
Sparrow has a new community feedback survey that is calling out for your responses. The staff takes serious consideration from the quantifiable data that is gained from these surveys, so your considered responses have a considerable effect on the future of the server. Whether you've been here from before the Ascended Sages left, or you've only just arrived in Anthos, your feedback is important.
A competition has begun to create a musical track for another Lord of the Craft trailer that calls upon the creative skills of the community. The first stage is selecting a track that best suits the server with the intention of adding lyrics. The next stage, which will begin in the coming week, will be to write lyrics for a piece of music. If you need a headset, then now is the time. Get your creative juices flowing, community. We're looking out for anyone who can weave words to dream up a song.
Thanks for joining us. That concludes Season 1 of the LOTC Report. I'm Fiend.
And I am Arza.